Hello, this is Bella, and this is Stephanie from Ferret-World, and we're just on our Ferret-World Tour, and we're here with Lisa, who has invited us into her home to talk ferrets.
Hello, welcome to my home.
Thank you for inviting us, Lisa.
That's okay.
So just tell us a little bit about Bella.
Well, Bella is very tiny. She's 7 weeks old tomorrow. We've had her for 3 weeks from a very naughty breeder who was feeding her milk and bread when she was all... Yeah, she was very dirty and very tiny, and I thought I'd take him off her hand so that she wouldn't die.
Yeah.
3 weeks on, she's put on... Well, she's tripled in size now, and she's a very active little baby. And she's
beautiful.
Yeah. She smells like sheepskin.
So she's only just getting her colour through now.
She is, yeah. She's all cream underneath, and she's got 2 little black dots on her head, and she's getting a predominantly black strip down her back and her tail.
She's beautiful.
Yes, I don't know what she'll be. She's a work in progress.
Yeah. Fantastic. So how long have you had ferrets for?
Well, January this year was the first time, so nearly 4 months.
Wow.
My son, who's 20, decided that he wanted a ferret. He racked up a $900 internet bill on his phone, researching them, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm still paying that off. Yeah, so I did research them as well for a couple of weeks, and then we went out together and we bought Budgie, who will be introduced to you a bit later. She's 6 months old now, and she was our first ferret.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you find them to start off with?
I didn't know what to expect, and when he first said that he wanted a ferret, I thought, no, you're not getting it, because I knew I'd be the one end up looking after him.
Yeah.
Or them. But you know, after a day, you just learn to love them. The whole family, even my husband, who called them rats initially, he won't go to bed without one of them in bed with him at the moment. Yeah.
That's very cute.
Yeah.
So were they what you expected when you first got your ferret?
Well, I never really thought about having a ferret, to be honest, until I started researching them on your site, and I joined the fan page on Facebook, and I read all the comments. And everyone just absolutely loved theirs, and I thought I've got the time and I've got the finances to be able to put into owning exotic pets, especially ferrets. So I thought it'd be cool, you know. So so we got our first one and never looked back. Now we got this little one. For Budgie to play with, but just not yet, because I think Budgie's a little bit too rough still, and she's only 7 weeks old, so we have introduced them.
And what happened when you introduced them?
Well, it happened yesterday, actually. And she cried a lot. She cried a lot. Budgie's a little girl, by the way. She's 6 months old now.
Yeah.
So, she roughed her up and she scruffed her a lot, and she was biting her, and this one was crying. I don't know if it's normal, but I think I'll do that for a couple of days until I put them down together so they can play in their little playground. And hopefully one day they will be best of friends and share a cage and a hammock.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm sure they'll be fine.
As long as there's no blood, I keep reading.
No blood, we're all good. So you was talking about finances and how you can afford it. So how much on average does it cost to have a ferret, do you think?
Well, the initial cost of the ferret, obviously, the cage. There's ongoing costs like food. Mine only eat Evo. And that's like 75 Australian dollars.
It's really expensive.
It's very expensive, but the best for them. It lasts probably 4 or 5 months, I think. That also gets supplemented with meat and chicken, obviously. Although mine don't like bones, and I know they should. But so the food, vet bills, of course, they need to do vaccinations. Because mine are both girls, desexing. Budgie's just been desexed. Her hair's just growing back now. So that costs $300, and also worming tablets and fleas. So I think it'll probably cost about $1,000 a year. On both of them.
So the initial cost is nothing comparing to how much it actually costs to maintain and keep ferrets and keep them healthy.
Exactly, and then you need toys for them too.
Yeah, of course, and then you just spoil them rotten with toys.
So I spent probably about $100 a month on eBay getting all my stuff from the States, because obviously we don't have a big selection here in Sydney to buy from. So I buy end bones and bandit treats and all the tubes and, you know, all the bedding. So they have a ball. Yeah.
Beautiful. And so you were talking about the vet previously. So what do you think it takes for a vet to be a good vet for ferrets?
Okay. So I didn't know where to start, and I did go to my local vet. I did ask questions. I said, have you dealt with ferrets in the past? And they said, oh, somewhat.
Yeah.
That wasn't a good enough answer for me, especially knowing that Budgie'd have to have surgery.
Yeah.
So every time I clicked on any website in Sydney regarding vets, David Vella's name came up.
Yeah.
So I looked him up. He's in the city, and I made the trip out, and he's great. All he does is exotic animals, dwarf rabbits and ferrets. You're having a bit of a nibble there. Yeah, so he's great. He's fantastic. Here's my kisses. My kisses just yeah, so he's a brilliant vet. He does ferrets day in, day out, and he knows exactly what he's talking about. So I feel very comfortable when I take my 2 babies to him.
Yep. Yeah. And what was the difference with him comparing to your other vet that you saw?
The other vets, they thought they were feline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're going, well, like cats, you need to do this, and like cats, you need to do that. Or
right.
if you've ever had a rat, and I said, well, they're not rodents and they're not cats.
Yeah.
They're pets. So unless you know what you're talking about, I'm going to look for someone who does know.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. It's always good to seek a second opinion if you're not feeling comfortable.
Definitely.
What do you think is the best thing about ferrets?
Oh, my God. I don't know. Look, they just make you smile. Doesn't matter what sort of day you're having. If you're having a bad day, if you're stressed out, all you need to do is get your ferrets out to play with, and I think that all your stresses just go. And they're so lovable. They kiss and all mine are. They kiss and they cuddle and they play, and you know you think of nothing else but love and hugs and kisses with them. Oh, Budgie. Hello, Budgie. He's come to say hello.
Tell us a little bit about Budgie.
Well, Budgie wants to eat Bella at the moment. So this is what they do. She tries to scruff her and drag her around the room. No, don't do that. That's naughty. Well, it's not really. It's natural, I know, but, you know, not while I'm holding you. She's 6 months old. See, her fur is growing back from her operation.
Yep.
She's a beautiful baby. She was my first ferret. I love her to bits. Gee, well, this is good.
Yeah.
I love her to bits. And she's just so playful, and she gives hugs and kisses. Not to her sister, though. Yeah, thank you. Kissy, kissy. She's got the run of the whole house, so it's her house, and she's got the freedom she needs.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and she loves playing with her toys, and she's adorable. I love her to bits. Okay, off you go.
So what do you think is the worst thing about ferrets? Is there anything that kind of is frustrating about them, or anyone that would be researching need to know about them?
Frustrating, yeah. I don't know if it's frustrating or just because she's spoilt, but she won't eat any raw meat on the bone. So whether it's pinky mice or chicken necks or wings or thighs or whatever, she just wants her meat cut up for her. I think she's probably spoiled, but she'll sort of look at me if there's anything on the bone and think, yeah, right, I'm not a dog, I'm not going to eat that. But and also pooping everywhere. Yeah. So sometimes they'll use or Budgie does, but this one doesn't, use their kitty litter. In their cages, they're great. They use it all the time. Yeah. The minute they come out and they have the run of the house, even though there's kitty litters everywhere, they'll just go beside them or in front of them or tunnel through them. Yeah. So that's a bit frustrating. Yeah.
So it just takes a little bit more time and patience than it might with a cat or a dog or anything like that.
And you need to have the time to invest because, like everyone knows, they can't be cooped up in their cage. Yeah. They need to come out for mine come out for 5 or 6 hours a day. Yeah. And although they've got lots of toys to play with, they definitely need us to to play with and hug and kiss and roll around the floor basically. Yeah. They love all that. Thank you.
And so, if you were to give any new ferret owner a tip, what would it be about ferrets?
Definitely, before you buy your ferret, do your research, do your homework. They aren't a cat or a dog. You can't just, leave them be and hope they fend for themselves. you definitely need to spend the money on them, keeping them healthy, keeping them entertained so they don't get bored. Definitely the biggest thing is do your research. Know